This is another day. So I drove the car for about a mile or so. There is no more obvious leaks in the bottom. I saw some seepage right here on the bolts, so I am not sure yet if it's just some kind of residual oil, or maybe the spray I used kind of was dripping from the engine up to here, or maybe it's the gasket is leaking for the transmission pan. I don't know. So I kind of wiped it, and overnight there are no more kind of obvious spills. What I noticed when I was driving is that the front end of the car was making sound. It's close to how the dried bearing gonna sound, so with no lubrication. So I used the stethoscope and I was listening for the front hub bearings, and I was also listening for the front differential, because I actually wasn't sure what is actually making the sound, and it was not like a grinding sound. It was like literally like a dry bearing sound. So the stethoscope gave me like impression that both those bearings in the front most likely the culprits, rather than the front differential. It's also on the list. I'm gonna need to purchase the 14mm hex socket, and I would like to check out how the oil looks like, if there are any metal shavings. If this is the case, I can but I can replace the front differential. For the front bearings, since it's all-wheel drive, the bearing is actually pressed into the hub, knuckle, whatever it is. So I'm gonna need to purchase the press to remove the old bearing and press in the new one. And I decided it's less expensive to start with the bearings, and maybe it's a little bit less complicated to start with the bearings rather than to start with replacing the front differential. So yeah, I'm actually going to Harbor Freight and to my local hardware store to purchase a couple sockets. I need to find the 14mm hex to open the drain and fill plugs for the front differential, and I'm gonna need to purchase the press. Harbor Freight got 12-ton press for $129. I'm not sure if the coupon is working for that or not, so hopefully it is. But I mean, even if it's not, $129 for the 12-ton press is still pretty good deal, if you ask me. So yeah, let's continue. I just got from a little shopping, and what I got is 36mm socket for the center nut. I also did purchase 75W90 oil for the differential, and I also order online one more just like that for the rear differential. I want to change the oil there as well. I got 14mm socket, and I purchased like regular profile. I know there are some slim profile sockets what you can actually use right here, like with a wrench, let's say. Actually, I'm looking on it right now. Actually, I can use 14mm wrench, and actually I can turn it right here. Yeah, actually it's not a bad idea. But right now I got it set up with the extension with my half-inch ratchet. But that's actually interesting idea. I can simply use the 14mm wrench to work out this this bolt. Before you remove the drain plug, always make sure you can remove the fill plug, because if the fill plug is stuck and you remove the drain plug, you're stuck as well. This is what I meant when I said you can use the open-end wrench, so because it's absolutely perfectly fits in here. But anyway, this fill plug has been undone. I'm gonna drain the fluid now, and I'm just would like to see what's the quality of the oil, if there are metal shavings, if yes, how many, how bad are they, and based on that we'll think what to do next. Alright, let me undo the drain plug. It wasn't bad at all, and let me try to catch the oil if there is any inside. And right now I won't be adding new oil because I'm waiting for the new drain plug actually to come in. I ordered 3 of them. It's absolutely normal oil. It's perfect. I mean, it did not require the replacement yet. But anyway, I already purchased the new oil, so we're gonna be adding it. Later on, once I'm gonna get the new plugs. Alright, I'm gonna let it sit and drain. I just put the plug back in so it doesn't drip like for the week or whatever is the number of days gonna pass until I will receive the new plug. But let's inspect the oil. I mean, there are some bubbles, but absolutely no metal shavings, like nor little ones nor big ones. So the only thing what concerns me a bit is the level. I am not sure. I think it's supposed to be more than that. That's the only thing that concerns me. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. So I know it should fit. I know, like nearly almost 1 liter should fit in the differential. Alright, as you can see, I removed this thing and I got a question now. So it was like this, like that. I knocked this center part, and the problem I have right now is this ring is actually the part of the bearing. It's supposed to stay inside on the bearing, and right now I have no idea how to take this kind of outer ring, so all this shiny part. Here is the more closer look for 2 bearings I removed. Obviously they are a little different. One of them got China marked and lettering is WB 510081N. The other one doesn't have the country of manufacture, it just got WH 510081, I think. So I'm not sure if this one is the OEM one. This one definitely not. not from China. I don't know how the OEM supposed to like or supposed to look, but I got the box with the FCP Euro goodies. I'm gonna open it up and let's check it out what's inside. Okay, the package is opened. I got two FAG bearings, so it got the designation, it made in Slovakia. I got 3 plugs for differentials, 2 for the front, and I could only find one for the rear. Maybe there is the second one somewhere, I don't know. If this is the case, I'm gonna order it. I got 2 new nuts for the axles in the front, and I decided to purchase 2 new, those like retaining things for the brakes, because mine are totally rusted here, and why not to refresh the look? I mean, just for looks. And the oil for the differential, I got I got one for the front, one for the back, different manufacturers, doesn't matter. 75W90, that's what you are looking for. And as well the lifetime warranty from FCP Euro for those parts, which I can understand how they can handle it, but yeah, if the bearing gonna fail on that car somewhere in the future, I can purchase new bearing and send them this one for the replacement, which is insane. Okay, without further ado, let's put the new bearings into those, what is it, like knuckle? Guys, take a look on the camera or on your display. If you're gonna ever be pushing this bearing into the knuckle, make sure you push it like in the oriented correctly. You see, like on this side there's like little line, or whatever you want to call it, so it's not the same as on this side. So this side with this kind of line goes towards that thing. So this side goes inside the knuckle, right? And this side where that thing goes in. Don't mess it up. Okay, so I put the new bearing with the proper side, in the bottom there. So this goes towards the end of the axle, whatever you want to call it. And I put the old bearing on the top and like the piece of scrap metal, and let's take a look if it's gonna do the trick. Watch your eyes, guys. It's always best to wear the eye protection in case something gonna fly out with the speed of sound. Oops, you can see it doesn't go right. Okay. So let me use the hammer first to to guide it, and then I'm gonna come back and do it all the way. Alright, so I kinda set it. It looks like it's going in. it goes somewhat easy. Let me adjust the old bearing. Hopefully I'll be able to get the old bearing off. Let me. Okay. Yes. Couple, probably like 1/8 or so left, or 1/4. Let's check it out. Yeah, you can see it sits all the way, no gap left. Now what's left to do is to put or press that thing. Oh, yeah. Not yet. I was little too early. I'm gonna need to put the retainer ring in. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's freaking very tight. Plus I'm gonna need to put that thing back in, and only then we can press in this hub. Okay, that's gonna be a lot of fun actually to get that thing in, because it was a lot of fun to get it off. It was like freaking real challenge to compress it, since it's very tight. I don't know. And now it's a time to get that thing pressed in. All right. goes in. Goes pretty easy. Okay, when it stops, it's probably where it's supposed to stop. It goes pretty tight actually. It could be that I over tighten the hub. Alright, that's the problem I think I made yesterday. So I did put this knuckle like that, and I was pressing the hub on the top. So what happened, the inner part of the bearing, the shortest part, actually was pushing out because there were nothing to support it. So what I found out, that actually the proper way to press the hub into the bearing is to put hub on the bottom, just like that, and actually press into the inner bearing ring. So I'm gonna be using the inner narrower part from the old bearing. So I'm gonna put it right here on the top, and then put something on the top of it, just like that. And now I think it should do the trick. The only thing, I guess, I need to raise the whole thing. So this is the proper way how you actually put the bearing in place. So I press it pretty hard, but it doesn't lock the hub. So yeah, there is no any play. So yeah, I think I did not damage the bearing by yesterday's attempt. Otherwise, you know, it would sound differently. So I'm gonna reassemble. The, you know, the left side, and I'm gonna do the same thing with the right side, because yeah, I feel that the right side gonna be acting the same way. So yeah, right now it's absolutely normal, and pressed all the way in. Actually, as I see now, it came in probably about 1/8 of an inch, and it sits perfectly. Alright, I'm gonna do the same thing from the other side, and we'll continue from that point. Alright, I tightened all three nuts in the bottom. The inner bolt for the lower rear control arm should be tightened when the car is under the load, so I won't tighten that bolt right now yet. And I'm gonna put back the ABS sensor. Then I'm gonna put the bolt that goes, that keeps the strut in place right here, and then goes the caliper, then goes actually the shield, then the caliper, and that's it pretty much with that side. And again, I'm gonna torque it once it's on the ground. Both sides, both wheels installed. I'm gonna tighten those bolts when the control arms are under the load. I installed the shield. I noticed few drips and looks like it's coming from the transmission pan. So eventually I'm gonna drop the pan, replace the oil, replace the pan, because it's kind of one-time use. It comes with the integrated filter, so that's gonna be the next step, but it's not urgent. Guys, if you know, that's the only plug I could find for the rear differential. Is it like a fuel plug, drain plug, or it's just one plug for all? So I kind of need to put some tube and suck the old oil from there. There is no plugs in the bottom, so let me know in the comments how to properly change the fluid in the rear differential. And otherwise, this is it so far. I guess it's more than enough for $550 Beamer from the Copart. I wanted to say from the junkyard, but no, it's not the junked yet. Alright, lower the car, tighten those two bolts, tighten the hub nuts, and that's it, and test drive. I guess so far it was not a bad progress. Transforming this car from non-running, non-driving, but we'll see how the test drive gonna go. All right, so it works pretty smooth right now. Like a few days ago, when I started, like for the first second time, I was hearing the kind of knocking noise, but it's totally gone now. It's totally gone now. Hopefully we'll have enough gas for this little round trip. So previously it was making like this kind of horrible sound around 20-25 miles per hour. Let's check it out if anything changed. Right now I can only hear the rusty brakes. Okay, so it was the bad bearing. It was the bad bearing, because right now it doesn't produce those horrible sounds anymore. How you doing, guys?
Good, how are you?
Having fun?
Yeah.
needs some gas. So that's gonna cover the part 3 of the video about this 528xi 2008 from Copart.